Hello and welcome to episode 115 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of all of the things Nintendo. And by God, is this a week to be talking about Nintendo? I'm sorry if you tuned in looking for pinball coverage, Sonic Spinball, not going to happen. We've got way too much Nintendo direct stuff to talk about this week. It was very ambitious for us to even hope that we'd get a spotlight game. They could have this could have been a bare bones direct. We didn't know. We had to be prepared. This could have just been like, "Hey, here's the specs. Here's 5 games coming
Whatever.
out on launch. Uh,
Leave us alone.
see you then." Um, but anyway, joining me this week is Sean.
Hello. It's all been building to this episode.
How does this camera work? There we go. And Harrison.
Yeah, if you're audio only, everyone's here. I thought we might be doing the spotlight, but okay, we are just saying that nope, it's not gonna be
That was optimistic
not
then,
gonna be
Harrison.
any kind of time. But hey, if you're video only,
I
I'll give
wouldn't
you a
be
little.
surprised if we don't get through all the stuff in the direct.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
we
a
might
bit.
not, we might not. Okay, well, no preview then. Kevin,
Let's do
All
this.
right. So yeah, I noted basically everything in the direct in order. So we're just going to go through everything the direct did in order, starting with the countdown. I just wanted to kind of note that because I don't feel like they've done that before, at least not in a while, and it really did build this hype going in. It's kind of a shame that eventually they got hit with lag on the live. If anyone watched it live, and
Mhm.
the audio was really far behind and then it froze at one point. But anyway, the countdown was a nice touch. It was nice while it lasted.
new theme.
And the first thing they announced was Mario Kart World coming in strong with the game we all knew was coming. Like there was no sense in keeping it a secret. Um, which I think we talked on the podcast once about whether this would be Mario Kart 9 or 10. It's been a big debate in the fan base, and it didn't occur to me until very recently. Um, it probably wasn't going to have a numbered title because I was like, wait, only Mario Kart 7 and 8 are numbered. The
Yeah.
rest all have a subtitle. So it's just something I never really thought about. So yeah, Mario Kart World. We've got all kinds of racers in there. There's 24 drivers on the track. The Penguin is a driver from Super Mario 64 and the Mario movie, other Mario projects.
The
I don't know what that cow is
cow.
from. What is that cow from?
That's Moo Moo Meadows cow.
Oh, yeah, you're right, but it's not like okay, they just putting everything in there. Do they have
Yeah, they
the
just
gophers, you think?
it might. It wouldn't surprise me. They have every other random thing ever, so probably be a pipe in this one.
It talked about, weather, like the courses are gonna have I think it said randomized weather or, like, changing weather, like, in real time or something.
So
Um,
probably lots of rain.
yeah, hopefully it's not as, like, annoying as the weather system in Breath of the Wild. I
Mm.
feel like Tears of the Kingdom, it was a little better, but still like, ugh, rain all the time.
Oh, you kids
And
racing? Enjoy the rain.
the big news about Mario Kart World, of course, is that you drive everywhere. It's very free roam. There's a world tour mode. All the courses are connected, so you drive. The time in between courses is basically a course when you go from one course to the next.
It's
So
like you're a real life racer now.
that can't leave their car. It's Wacky Racers. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
or
Yeah.
Cannonball Run. It's Super Mario Cannonball Run. Um,
So, yeah, I don't know. It intrigues me, but I'm still kind of Mario Kart. So we'll see. I'll have to wait for their direct.
I'm the only reason I'm getting this game is because it's gonna I figure I might as well spend the extra $50 and get the pack-in version.
The bundle.
The
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't want to get too much into the cost of these games because I feel like that's a good subject for next week's podcast because everybody's talking about it. But I feel
Yeah.
like I would not buy this game for the $80 or $90 they're selling it for solo. But pack-in game, I'm like, all right, I'll do the pack-in game. I'll have something to play right away, day one. That's a Switch 2 exclusive. That'll be nice. Um,
This is this game is Mario Kart Forza. That's the most important part of Mario Kart World. It's a world. You know, it's
yeah.
open,
Yeah.
it's open world. Like finally, and I was watching the trailer and I was just thinking like it's finally here. And it just makes so much sense that like, you know, we could drive from like one race to the next, and that is the biggest selling point to me is that like I finally get this world that I could drive in, like the cars, the upgrades, the different outfits, like that all looks amazing. Um and I hope there's a lot of customization you can do on your favorite vehicle. But I just hope that like, you know, I know there's a free roam, but I hope that part is really, really fleshed out. I watched some of the Treehouse Direct last night,
Okay.
which was a bit depressing. I'll get
Well,
into
they're
it
also
later.
having a whole direct just dedicated to Mario Kart World on the
Yeah.
17th.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they
gonna
mentioned
wait
that
for that.
they only show like you only saw like basically what you saw in the direct plus just some added like them playing the game. So yeah,
Mhm.
like it's cool like seeing all like the rails that you can grind on, but the selling point is that like I could get into this game and if I wanted to, because I do this all the time of other games, I could just go cruise. And that's what I want to do. Like I just want to be
I
able
think
to
it's
just cruise in the game.
I think it's like obligatory that we mention that at least the first thing I thought of, especially when I saw one of the carts going in the water and like exploring, is and Sean said this too, it really is reminiscent of Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
Specifically, I remembered the well, first the hub world that Diddy Kong Racing had. It's you would explore that to try to unlock the new course areas. And then they also had, like, those modes where you would have to get the silver coins or collect a key and then
Yep.
still come in first place, so and I also mentioned right before we started recording, Sonic Adventure Racing is also similar in that, you have the carts that transform into, like, a boat when you're on the water and, like, a flying machine when you're in the sky and stuff.
Yeah, I like that it sounds like it's got different modes to it, like full blown modes now, not just racing and battle. So that I'm
Yeah.
intrigued to see like what that's gonna be about. And a lot of Donkey Kong courses from what I saw. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, it seems like their focus is on Donkey Kong this time. Maybe they'll just make each system now have a different focus. The Switch was very Zelda focused, and then
Mhm.
this will be their Donkey Kong system, and then we're gonna have to wait till the Switch 3 to get a focus on like uh it'll be all Mario. There we go. Finally Mario again. Not that we're not gonna get Mario on this, but whatever. That in fact, that was a prediction I kind of want to throw out there right now. Everyone was probably surprised about what wasn't in this direct is a 3D Mario game. I
Yeah.
feel like before this time next year, like within the year, that 3D Mario is getting announced. I still feel it. So the next thing they went into was Joy-Con 2. They wanted to teach us all about the new Joy-Cons. The C button had the game chat. That's confirmed. Now we know what that C button is for, which about time, Nintendo. About time you got a built-in chat function. I know they were very worried about the depths of insanity some of those games end up being with chat features turned on, but you got to
Mhm.
do it. You need it at this point.
I like
Um,
that they basically made their own Discord server for their system.
Yeah, basically,
yep.
and I'm fine with it. because Discord is like the standard now, and you might as well, like, if it's not broke, just take it and put it into your own. Uh, and the selling point for the chat feature is that you don't have to be in the same game. So in the
Yeah.
future, like like, so I'm gonna add you guys because in the future, like, if you can play any kind of game, it's like, oh, hey, what's up, and I like
Yeah. Yeah.
I like knowing that Nintendo is trying to connect players right on their system. That is a good sign. This part right away is going to go into a theme that I see this direct where I'm pretty worried about some of the choices that I think they're making, and
That's fair.
right away this is it because the game casting looks like a cool idea, but looks so primitive for what is possible now. Like, for
Well,
example,
that's that's the
like
next thing on the agenda. Yeah, is the camera you're getting into? Is that what you're saying?
the game casting and the camera go hand in hand, and
Okay.
I'll say the part about the game casting where in a trailer, if it looks like it's real blocky and everything, that just means that in real life it's going to be that or worse. So it's a
I don't
cool
even what is the game casting? I'm not even sure I know what you're
The
talking about.
where you
screen
can
share
see
thing.
you can see the other person's screen, but like
Yeah.
when you see it in the
I don't know.
direct,
I must have missed that part.
when you see it in the direct,
It was like a really quick thing.
it's like
Okay.
super super um like blocky. It's like two frames. Um
Well, I did note that this was where the presentation's audio started to lag, so I switched from my phone to my computer to see if it would help. So maybe that's why I missed it.
and
Okay.
and I think that, like, it's a cool idea, but at the same time, like, if you wanted to do this the right way, you would just get on Discord and stream your gameplay there,
Mm.
and then you can just watch anyone's gameplay perfectly. Um, I think I'm worried that we're gonna get into this thing where we've seen it many times where Nintendo has tried to be innovative, but it's turned into more of a gimmick. And yes, the camera goes into that, but I'll I'll give Nintendo a bit of time on that because they might have a plan for it, or it
Yeah.
might just be a $50 camera, because I'm worried that if it's something that does work, since Nintendo is setting the precedent of this generation moving forward, if it works a little bit, someone is going to be able to do it a lot better. Because if you can use Nintendo camera, someone can come along and say, "Hey, you can use any camera." Right? And
Yeah.
not this crappy $50 whatever we're gonna give you. So, um,
So yeah, the next thing in the
yeah.
presentation was them talking about the camera. This is one that I'm kind of on the fence about whether I'm ever going to get or not. I like the idea of game chat and chatting with people. I don't know if they need to see me playing. It's going to depend on how much we're going to be able to like maybe record with it or something like that. How
Yeah.
easy that'll be. Um, it's interesting that we remember, like, a year ago, like, one of the first I think the first leaks about this system was the first leak was it's gonna have a camera, and I think back then they were saying a built-in camera. But I wonder if all the way back then they were seeing people kind of already play with this mode.
Right. It should
I
have a built-in
liked the
camera.
Mario Party stuff with the camera. Like I thought that added to that experience.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't know what the plan is. Like you said, how it records.
You wanna know what the plan is? Switch Online membership required.
It needs
Well,
to
yeah,
have
that was one of the
it,
themes, I guess, of the whole thing, right?
it
Yeah.
needs to have a WarioWare or something where you actually use the camera to play a game. If it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
if it's just a group chat,
Well, that was the thing. They showed some things that did that, and I'm like, this just reminds me of like Xbox Connect. Like, I'm not
It's
interested in
Connect.
doing this.
Yeah,
Like,
it might just be Connect, and it's not expensive, but again, like, if it's just a camera, why can't I just hook up my USB camera and just
mhm,
it's HD, it's so much better. Like, it's so much better, so I'm afraid that if it's
mhm.
just that and it's just a gimmick, if it
Steam
has
Deck will
if it
be
has
be
any
doing
kind
this
of
soon.
success, there's opportunities for someone to do it way better, way cheaper, way easier. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we do see something like WarioWare with optional camera functionality. I don't even know what that would be, or Just Dance games, like things that millions of people are going to play besides people that are on this podcast. Um,
And
so
then the
yeah,
next thing they talked about was, I think, one of the cooler functions of the system is the local multiplayer with Game Share. You can link up to 3
Yeah.
systems together. Odd that it's not 4. I don't in fact, I think in one of the things they might have shown 4, I don't know, but they said up to 3 systems.
three plus
Um,
one.
for
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
was
yeah,
3
you link
yesterday.
3. Okay,
So
there
it's
we
You
go.
link
Connect.
So
three.
4
Yeah.
total.
It's four total. Yeah,
Alright, that makes way more sense to me now. Okay, so yeah, you can have 4 players all linked up playing handheld mode, multiplayer. Like, that's like it's like, like an old school LAN party. It's that's the dream. Like, when we were playing GoldenEye back in the '90s, that and everyone was complaining about, "You're looking at my screen." That's what everyone wanted. So, it's really cool that they have that in there. I know this isn't the first thing to do it, but, like, I'm pretty sure you could even do that with the DS on some games, but
Yeah, this was something they took from one of the handheld systems.
yeah.
yeah, so that's really cool, really glad that's there. They also then confirmed, that the extra button everyone was speculating about was the release button, which we all kinda knew. In fact, Skeleton House, reposted one of our episodes this week, when he was on, and I was listening to it because it was a Switch 2 rumor week, and, that's one of the things we talked about all the way back. It was, like, episode 87, and we were like, "Yeah, it's probably a release for the magnetic controllers," and we were right. It's what it is. 256 gigabyte storage, also rumored back in the day, also talked about in that Skeleton House podcast, and it turned out to be true. 4K support, also rumored, turned out to be true. Just some specs on there. I'm gonna end up getting well, I should save that information for another thing they talked about in a minute. Um, Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour was the
Uh,
next thing they
uh,
showed. I would have totally played with this thing if it were, I don't know, even if it was $1, I think, but what did they say the price of it was? I remember
they
being
didn't
like,
say the
"No."
They
price,
didn't say a price.
but the fact that
It doesn't
it's
matter.
paid
Doesn't.
and it's a
Yeah.
tech demo, basically.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I
that
s-
that
No, I thought they said the price because I was, well, maybe I was
I
just
I don't
completely
think so.
turned off
But
by
I
paying in
saw
general.
it on there, and I thought, oh, this is cool. Like, it's different. Uh,
Yeah.
you know,
and
uh,
then they said that, and I was like, "Nope."
yeah, yeah. This will
All right, I've
connect.
already said it on the podcast and I'll stick to it. If it's $1, I'll get it.
It's not gonna be. It's gonna be. It's gonna.
Anything more.
It's gonna be 20. It's gonna
Yeah.
be 20.
I don't think
Really?
it's gonna be
I
20.
I
All right,
I'll
let's
I
predict it.
saw
I think it's gonna
10.
be I think it's gonna be between $7.99 and $9.99. That's my prediction.
for
You
for
think
for a
20?
new Nintendo
Really?
game. For a new
We'll
It's
Nintendo
not
see.
game,
really I guess it's sort of a game. I don't know.
it's gonna be 20 easily. Okay, so I, this connects, I promise. But I'm a Steam Deck guy, and there's no games that are exclusively made for Steam Deck. But there is one,
Correct.
and it's called Aperture Desk Job, and it's like a tech demo. It's like 30
Yep.
minutes. It's really cool, and it basically shows off like the trackpads and the back buttons, and it's the only game that does that for Steam Deck, because it's not like a mainline handheld console.
Yeah.
Welcome Tour is that. It's exactly what that is. It's like showing off the tech on your new Switch, and it should be a pack-in game just as a flex. This gets into the theme that, okay, I know I might just need to talk about it on my podcast on Monday because Nintendo is just way too greedy. And I'm not Nintendo spokesperson. Nintendo Therapy is for is for consumers. It is a consumer focused podcast, and Welcome Tour should be a free game. It should be a game everyone
No, I
should be able
agree.
to play day one.
I have an update on the cost. I have an update on the cost. So
What is it?
I
Oh, I
just
hear
checked to
you.
see if there was anything out there on it, and it has a confirmed Japanese cost of 990 yen, which is approximately
$10.
$6.76
Oh,
US.
$10.
So about $7, which
But that's not a
goes in
dollar.
that wheelhouse.
So
No, I'm not buying
It's not 20
it.
though.
All right,
It's fair
next
enough.
thing in the presentation was one of the only things we predicted wrong is that the game card is exactly the same except it's red now. It's the same shape, same size card, just red, which I was like when they said that I was like, "And I'll bet there'll be publishers that don't even use the red one. Like they'll want to make their own special color card." So,
I'm just waiting for
okay.
the what? It says Switch on it. It's like, no, it's colored. So nope, it's a Switch game. So
All
that's gonna
right.
be
No,
fun.
Mm, yeah,
there's nothing to talk about here.
yeah.
It's the same card. Moving on. um, uh, so okay, this was the thing I wanted to talk about earlier, though. I don't know why they didn't pair this with the internal
Oh,
storage conversation,
the SD card.
but the SD card you cannot use the same if you're going to bump up your internal storage. You can't use the same card you have on your Switch. You need these newer, fancier SD cards. I'm still gonna end up buying a terabyte and putting it on there just because I am crazy and I am all digital on my Switch. So, uh, yeah, I want to be able to fit as many games on there as possible.
So
Mhm.
they announced that. I went, of course you'd
Yeah.
use it. I get it. It's new tech, whatever. But I'll wait till they have a terabyte one for it. I'm not gonna go through because I did this with my current Switch where
Oh, do they
I
not
have
have
like
one for that kind of card yet?
not yet.
Oh, I didn't even look into that. Yeah, that's what I want.
So yeah. So you're
Oh,
gonna have to wait. But like I
256
have like
is
four different SD cards for my Switch. One of them's a terabyte, but like I kept slowly finding a bigger one each time.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So
yeah.
256 in the system, and I'm probably gonna
Well, I can the good thing is now you can except for Switch 2 games, you can use your Switch to just like store the rest until
well,
you're
that's what
ready.
I'm not getting rid of the OLED or anything. So I was like, you know what? Switch 2, I might just stick with whatever's on it. Sure, I'll get 2 switches, but whatever.
Yeah. And then they showed us the new Pro controller with the built-in mic for all the trash talk you want to do on their new voice chat feature. I wonder how they're going to cut down because Nintendo being a family-friendly company on how
They're
toxic
gonna
those
regulate
chats can
that.
get. But we'll find that out as things develop.
Pro
But yeah,
controller.
new Pro controller has 2 customizable buttons on the inside, which is cool.
Yeah.
They've never approached that before.
Well, not only
Nintendo has it. Other
well,
Yeah.
companies have.
No, I know, I know. That's what I mean.
every
Nintendo
company
has.
has for a long time. Well, not only that, and we'll get
Said
into
they? What?
w-
What? I don't
um,
understand the confusion.
not only that, but
There's
we'll
a
get
headphone.
but also for Switch Online, they have the custom controls as well, which we saw.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about it. Pro controller, $80. I think that's right in the where it needs to be.
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense. Yeah.
One
because
of the things from this direct I will definitely be getting is a
uh,
Pro controller. That if you want to keep a list at home, check that off. I'm getting the system, Mario Kart World Tour, Mario Kart World, whatever, and a Pro controller so far.
yeah, because I'll
Yeah, Pro
eventually
Controller, I'm gonna wait because I just replaced mine, and I'm like, not that they work together, but
yeah.
I'm gonna measure this like I did in that Blue Sky post I made once. So I'm gonna measure this in punches to the wallet. So far, we got 3 punches to the wallet. And
Yeah.
then arguably the biggest announcement of the trailer is the release date. The thing that everyone wanted to know is next. And they said, "Hey, it's coming June 5th, 2025." And I like how everything before this that was related to the release date, they said like releases same day as Switch 2 and then like in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same. Because I honestly, when I first saw that, I was like, "Are they not going to give us the release date in this? Is wasn't that the whole point of this presentation?" But no, they were just putting it in the middle.
yeah.
So yeah, June 5th, 2025 is the
We would have
release date.
figured it out though. I mean,
Yeah,
because we were getting release dates in June
just want to
as
say,
it went on, so we would have figured out. Yeah, this shows up at some point.
do my "I told you so" dance to a lot of people online that were arguing with me about May 15th being the release date. And I feel super smart now because my argument was the Switch store, I mean, the Nintendo store opens May 15th. So I'm like, they're going to want that news cycle to be people
The
talking
focus.
about the store, not people
Yeah.
talking about the Switch. And they were like,
Mhm.
well, doesn't it make sense that when the doors open, there's a system right there ready to buy? And I was like, yeah. So in that case, I would say it would release 2 weeks before the store opens. Maybe that's going to happen, but it's not going to be on the day the store opens. So I was right. Do my dance. Okay. Anyway, next thing in the presentation was Switch 2 edition games. They wanted to talk to us about some stuff they've already sold us that they want to sell us again.
Yeah, that
Um,
is the
I
iffy
felt so
part.
bad. They should not have kicked this off with Mario Party Jamboree
No.
because I felt so bad. I was like, people just bought that game.
Yep.
Um, so they should have maybe put that towards the end. Lead with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. People have had those for years.
I was
Uh,
just happy because they did that, and I went, I swear, if they show Xenoblade X, I'm gonna scream.
the Zelda Notes function looks awesome, by the way. It's basically how I found all the Koroks in Breath of the Wild anyway, using those online maps people made, and now I won't have to fight pop-up ads and stuff. So
Mhm.
so that's really cool. They also said Kirby and the Forgotten Land is going to be one of these. Add another punch to the wallet because it's so funny that the timing on this last week, I still have eShop gift cards from Christmas left over. And last week, I almost bought Kirby and the Forgotten Land because I was like, it's about time. And then I decided not to. And
I
now this
think
is like,
you should.
I definitely want to. Like, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this
No,
game.
no, but price point wise, I think you should get it now.
Oh, no, I
This
want the
was the
Switch
old
2
so
version.
yeah, Switch 2. So this will be the extent of me. Everyone's upset about the pricing, but Kirby's $80 on Switch 2. And I went,
Yeah.
what?
I think we should have a whole let's try to
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
we
we do
I
have a
have a
lot.
lot of thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
On
we're
on
gonna
the
yeah,
prices.
yeah.
So we'll talk
I
about
would
that next week.
I,
get Kirby now.
yeah. So for this one, I'll just talk about Breath of the Wild because I'm the Breath of the Wild guy. So that'll be easy.
Mhm.
Um, hey, that might be my first game on Switch too.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's funny to think about how like my first
Get
game
that Zelda
on
notes going.
Switch was
Both
Breath of
of
the
them.
Wild, and I didn't finish it initially when I first got my Switch, but
Yeah.
I could very easily just get the upgrade of Breath of the Wild and play it on this new Switch as well.
So you'd be fine with that for a while.
Definitely, I want to know how. Like again, I'm a bit worried that the fact that we get free upgrades on games like Scarlet and Violet, and then paid upgrades on games like Breath of the Wild or Mario Party Jamboree, it's a little bit
Yeah.
convoluted. Like, it's not
Well,
even
Yeah.
like
PlayStation's the same way. Like some of
Do they
theirs.
do this the same way?
So like for example, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade was a free upgrade. Um I might be remembering this backwards, and I think Spider-Man you had to pay $15 for if you went from the
No, you're right.
PS4 to the PS5. Yeah. So
Because
like
I remember Miles, when Miles
yeah.
launched, you could pay the 10 or whatever for the upgraded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
so like they're the same way where like sometimes it's free, sometimes they charge you.
and
I
it's
don't
the
know.
same thing as like if we marketed it as DLC, whatever. Because by the time I bought the Breath of the Wild DLC, I was like, sure, because I had bought Breath of the Wild 30% off like on a holiday. And by the time I got the DLC, I was like 100 hours in. I was like, sure, like take more money because I certainly got my money's worth out of Breath of the Wild. So spending
I
more
would
money,
assume this version comes with that. So, yeah,
yeah,
there's that added.
spending more money on it won't be an issue when I get to it. I wish it was different.
Hmm.
Um but but yeah, Zelda notes look pretty
I want to know how
cool.
Zelda Notes is how they're going to prevent people from using Zelda Notes for the Switch 1 version because it's just done through the Nintendo Today app. So like
Yeah.
can I just boot up Zelda Notes for the Switch 1 version as well? It's the same game.
Yeah, and I hate that too. Let's get rid of the app. There's no reason for it. Just make it in game
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
I'm more
Well, they're
interested.
trying to make people I think I don't think it's between being in the game or being on the app. I think it's between being on the app or not existing at all for them. Like they're like, let's make this thing as a reason for people to use our app, not as this is an addition to the game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't wanna pay
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
I
I
get
don't
what you're
wanna pay
saying.
for it and download the app. Like, that just seems
But
like
that's also fair. So,
that just seems like other kind of like, it seems like kind of like the other tech that I buy. There's so much tech that you have to buy, it's like you buy it, then you have to sign up for something. I don't wanna do that. Give it to
yeah.
me in game so I don't have to, like, do this and that while I'm like also on my phone doing um other things. But for the amount of money it's going to take to upgrade, I'm kind of like whatever. It's just
Just give it. Yeah.
it's just another layer that adds to the overall confusion because again, I'm thinking about like just people who play games a little bit, you know, and
Uh-huh.
it's like there's this and that and this is free and that's paid and you got this app and you got this accessory and yeah, and the other part too I want to add is that this system is way more powerful than I had anticipated. It lives up to the rumors that we had, but the HDR for Breath of the Wild is what I want to see. Tears of the Kingdom as well, but I think it's going to
Okay.
be a very
And
beautiful upgrade, which is what I'm interested in.
and we also need to mention in this section of the presentation, Mario Party Jamboree is going to have added mini games, which was that thing that I told you reminded me of the Xbox Connect.
Yep.
And we also didn't mention Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is going to have a Switch 2 edition, which we called on this podcast. It's going to use the mouse controls. I think that was me. I'm going to pat myself on the back again for that. I was like, hey, wait a minute. First person shooters on the PC, mouse, do it. Anyway, um, and then also Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be a Switch 2 edition.
That one surprised me.
Well,
I thought
because
they
it
really.
seems like Nintendo that was the next thing I was gonna say is it seems like Nintendo hasn't even like thought about doing it because it was like that was probably the one they decided last minute because all of these have like you can look online what the features of the Switch 2 edition are. And
Uh-huh.
literally Pokemon Legends ZA, maybe they're hiding something from us, I don't know. But so far all it says is enhanced visuals. That's it. That's all you get for the Switch 2 edition. All these others at least do something. That's just
Yeah.
enhanced visuals.
Yeah, so the Joy-Con mouse thing was cool, and my big thing with that is curious how much backwards compatibility they'll do with games that have been ported to Switch that are basically PC games. So I'm hoping that's a pretty smooth transition, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then the
Or we have
next
the
thing they
option,
did
at
was
least. Yeah.
announce. Oh, sorry, Harrison.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, the next thing they did was announce just rapid fire a bunch of games before at the end of the direct where they did the same thing. But stop me if you want to talk about any of these. We got Dragon Drive,
Yeah, stop there.
Which I
Elden.
feel like should be a pack-in also. It
Yeah.
looks interesting, but
Yeah.
again,
So
that might be a $20 game, Harrison.
yeah,
So
we can't go over this one too quickly. Dragon Drive, it's a new Nintendo IP, correct? Right?
yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's I think yeah.
yeah,
I was confusing this with something else. Yes,
that's
it's the
okay.
new.
So
It
and
just
this
doesn't look that interesting to me. I'm sorry to say. Like,
well,
I don't
so
want to be
I'll
that
just
No, it's a
guy.
cool idea, but to me, it seems like a pack-in game. So
yeah.
It seems like a lot. Maybe I'm just a lazy elder millennial who just wants to use his controller, a traditional
too much,
controller, the
too
traditional
much
way.
mouse
It's
movement.
too much mouse moving. Exactly. I'm like, I just wanna play normal.
Yeah. So this is
That's fair.
this is obviously Rocket League, but like basketball,
Yep.
and it should be
Yeah,
intriguing to me because it's basketball and skateboarding pretty much. Like it's got like half pipes, but it's not.
yeah, yeah,
This goes along with everything I've been saying already. Is that it's made for dual mouse controls. I'm sure they're gonna do like actual controller that you can use, but it's made in
yeah,
mind for dual mouse controls, which is really specific because like do will people sit in their living room on their coffee table, or like will you want to sit at a desk at a computer, because not many
Yeah, you're not gonna play
people,
this on the bus.
yeah, not many
no.
people.
Can I use your back? Hold on.
Again, I'm sure there's
Yeah,
gonna be secondary actual controller controls. I think it's fine for what it is. I mean, as always, if Nintendo is trying something new, that's great. This is pretty much mouse control Rocket League. Again, it's a little bit gimmicky is all I wanted to say. I didn't want to
It
go
very
over
much
it too
look
quick.
also like, here's a concept. Let's see if anybody comes up with a better use for it, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey
yeah. So
guys, developers, double mouse, go.
yeah, I don't want to go over it.
Exactly.
I don't want to go over it too quickly. And Kevin, let me take this next part right here because I was right. I
You
was
were.
right.
Yes,
Who
Pat
has
on
been
I
Harrison's
talking?
back.
Who has been talking
have
about?
so many notes on Harrison being right on game announcements.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and hey, whatever. I'm just mostly kidding. Elden Ring on
Yeah,
Switch 2 is easy,
that
and
that made me
and
happy.
Black Friday or something.
Yep.
Give me the
Hmm.
game and DLC 30% off. I want to play Elden Ring on Switch 2. Oh, this is gonna
So
be
do I.
awesome. This is gonna be awesome.
So my punch in the wall would have been if they gave the date. God.
Yeah, yeah.
Very happy about that. And actually, the one after it, you predicted too, Hades 2 coming.
2020.
Yeah, I
So
was gonna say
Yeah.
you predicted that as well.
Um.
It's punching the
so
wallet, Sean, not punching the wall. I'm not crazy.
hey, we do things differently in this
Yeah.
house, all right?
And for Hades 2, only thing that we need to say is that there is no release date, but I'm hoping this means well, actually I don't really care.
Simultaneous.
I don't care too much, but I'm thinking this means it'll be 2025 if they're showing it in the direct. But
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking
Super Giant Games, if it's not ready, they're not going to release it.
they won't. Yeah, yeah,
Because the first Hades was in early access for like 3 years, and then once it
yeah.
released, it was a Game of the Year candidate. Um,
Right.
so yeah. How next one though, Sean, is one that you might like.
So I thought it was really cool. Street Fighter 6 is coming to Switch 2 with the already released DLC characters. So that was kind of a nice touch. It's really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna get it again, but I was really happy. And when they showed it, I went, "Huh, I guess Mortal Kombat should have waited." It's
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to squeeze the Mortal Kombat one on the original Switch.
Can
But
we?
no, that was really cool. Capcom, I wasn't surprised had stuff from software that surprised me. One of the things I did notice, no Ubisoft at all. Or no, I'm sorry, there was one Ubisoft game. I think they showed it briefly, but there was no point where Ubisoft came out and went, "Hey, we have a game," and that was weird because I feel like the last 3 systems have launched with Ubisoft games,
Hmm.
and them like
Yeah,
talking about them. So that was a weird omission.
yeah.
And then Harrison and I had the same thought on I don't know how you say this game, mech game. It's actually a
Payment
Nintendo
Ex
game, but it's
Machina.
a,
Yeah.
yeah. So that is a sequel to a Switch game that I haven't played. I thought it was interesting that they even made it a sequel. So
Y-
I don't know, just kind of cool they
It
didn't forget
looks it
about it.
looks
And then
really it looks really good. I mean, in
yeah,
comparison to
it
the
does.
first one. And
I That's why I
what?
was confused initially because I did the first game is cool. I played the demo for it, but visually they look night and day. So I had no idea they were connected. So
Yeah, I mean, I think this would have been a good prediction. I didn't see anyone predict this one, but the first one sold decently enough that I'm not surprised. It looks so much better than the game that came out, I think 2021, 2020 something. So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Could Street Fighter, could we see any Nintendo characters? Could we see a
it's
I don't
possible.
really
could we see a
they
third?
did that what didn't they do that bad box art Mega Man in one of them, or was that a different game? Was that Street Fighter?
I don't know.
I don't think that was a Street Fighter.
I don't know.
Oh.
What was that? I have
That
no
that
idea.
was it might have been one of the Capcom versus things. It might have been a skin. I don't know. But no, I think since Ryu and Ken are in Smash, it's possible
It's
to
definitely
have.
possible. Like I'll get into some other third party possible Nintendo support, but yeah, seeing Street Fighter on there is super cool. Seeing after the mech game, which I can't pronounce, Titanic Scion, Split
Mhm.
Fiction is I think by far the
It's
best.
on everything.
It's
But
by
yeah.
far the best
It
EA
made perfect
game
sense.
um, in the last probably 15 years or so. And hey, it's good to see that EA and Nintendo have obviously had
Made up.
conversations. I know it's money.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when the next one revealed was Madden,
I
and
can
I
believe
was
it.
like,
Sports, yeah.
"Wow, that's huge for them."
Yep.
I mean, even if they hate each other, it's still a lot of money that they can make for each other. So I'm not surprised that they
Madden sells
eventually.
systems. There are people who literally only like will buy a system to play Madden on it, and then every game they get after it is just
Is
because they
Madden.
bought that system to play Madden.
Same with
You know
Call
what
Yep.
I mean? So,
same with Call of Duty.
yeah, exactly.
Same with
Yep.
NBA 2K. So the only thing I'll say about the Twitter people or the Blue Sky people is that like don't be one of those Madden on Switch. Like the only thing you have to do is just see it sometimes on the eShop.
Yeah,
it doesn't affect you at all. Like
it's
More is
not
better.
Mario
and
Kart. It's not required to own.
And also
So
and also keep in mind the big picture. If you want other third-party developers to come to Switch and come to your console, you have to have big third-party developers come as well. So, sorry, you're gonna
yep.
see Madden in the eShop every once in a while. I wish, we could block it. Um, I
So the next one, Kevin, is this a Switch 2 purchase for you?
So Hogwarts Legacy is actually next, which no.
Oh,
But
okay.
it is
yes,
for
Tony
me.
Hawk's Pro Skater 3
Tony
and
Hawk.
4 is what you're talking about, which
Yeah, yeah, okay. No, Hogwarts was
absolutely.
another that they were like Hogwarts, and I went, well, why didn't you wait?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good excuse for me to play it, but Pro Skater, yeah, go ahead.
Pro Skater,
First
I've
one,
already talked. We don't need to waste time on that where we got a lot to go
but it
through,
is a
and
Switch 2 for you. Okay.
definitely buying
No,
it, definitely going to be talking about it on future episodes of the podcast, so we'll skip it for
no
now.
unanswered questions to pro skaters though. So like they haven't answered
Yeah.
like Are they gonna
Mhm.
change Pro Skater 4 or not? But yeah, keep
They put
going.
Bam in the game for what that's worth. I saw that this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of third party possible Nintendo support, if Nintendo and IO Interactive does not do something for Project 007 special,
Oh,
they
Oh,
are
you're getting ahead,
so.
guys. You drive me crazy.
Oh, the
you skipped
next one's Hitman,
Hitman.
right?
Yeah, Hitman World of Assassination. This whole
What could
podcast is chaos now.
It's all good.
I,
No, I
that's
mean, Hitman, I wasn't surprised.
did,
It's just nice to see it's not
it's the same.
Cloud.
It's the same game.
So I'm glad
Like
that
I
that
wanted to.
word
I wanted to
never
use
came
my
up.
lead in. We have the same thoughts, right?
Okay.
So, right. Project 007. We're talking about
I
007.
knew,
We're
by the way,
talking.
I know I keep talking about how smart I am. I'm sorry. But as
It's
soon
your
as I
favorite
saw
I love
that
console.
it.
bullet, as soon as I saw that bullet going into the chamber of the gun, I was like, it's gonna turn around and be the
James Bond
007
logo.
intro. Like I knew it. I knew it. But yeah, I'm excited for this.
It-
I am
Nintendo
too. We'll
has
just
to.
wait and see what happens.
They have to do something Nintendo for this. Like if it's just a normal Project 007 release as the same as any other console, it's a waste. Come on, like
Yeah,
do
that's the
something.
kind of excitement I am. Like there's like two kinds of excitement where you're like, I can't wait to get this thing. I already know it's gonna be awesome. I'm the other kind of excited for this where I'm like, I really can't wait to learn what this is. And then
Mm.
maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, you know?
Yeah. So
Yeah, you're
hopefully
hoping
they.
for like Project 007 on Switch 2 has GoldenEye mode,
Yep.
and no other
Yeah.
version has it.
Yes.
Some
Yeah.
crazy thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and if it's not exclusive, I mean, I don't care what the other systems, but it'll be a waste if like they put a 007 game on there and it's not something that's nostalgic. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Bravely Default, never heard of it. That came next.
3DS remake.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a
It
so
3DS
Bravely
remake.
Default 2
Good
was on
sign.
Switch.
It's a good sign we're getting a 3DS remake. It sold less than 1 million, but I wouldn't be surprised if the remake sells more. Anytime we get a 3DS remake, we have to highlight it. It's a good sign.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So that was
oh,
Yakuza,
cool to see.
I'll take it. Yakuza Zero,
Y-
awesome game.
Yakuza
I've
Zero
bought it.
director's cut.
I've bought it 2 times already. I'll buy it again. If you wanna play a Yakuza game, you either play Yakuza 0 or you play, Yakuza, um, the 7th game, the turn-based game. Um,
Oh, like a
well,
dragon.
like a dragon. Sorry, there's been too many. They just released the pirate game, which is crazy, but,
See, that's what I was excited for is, ooh, 0, so maybe the pirate game will come eventually.
they're all gonna come. I thought they were gonna do Kiwami 2 first because they released Kiwami 1.
Mm.
But Yakuza 0, if you want to play a Yakuza game, this is the one to play. I'm so excited this game is coming to Switch too. And is
And
it?
the next was
Yeah.
kind of a big one too. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I still have the first Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U in my list of backlog games. I haven't finished it. I started it once for like 5 minutes and then like I it does seem like it's the type of game you have to be in a mood for. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
absolutely.
I definitely will play and finish that game. I don't know if I'll play the Switch game they had or if I'll just go straight to this one. We'll see. But yeah, those games are fun. They just, they get repetitive is the
Yeah.
thing. So,
Yep. Even though I'm big on repetitive games, but no, I tried the demo of Age of Calamity. It was all right.
I finished it.
Uh,
I yeah,
the
yeah,
second biggest, oh, sorry.
yeah. I finished
it was just
Age of Calamity, and I won't be playing this one. It's just not my style of game. But oh, this would have been an easy bingo card prediction for us because of course they were gonna like they
Yeah.
made Hyrule Warriors for Breath of the Wild. Of course they were gonna make one for Tears of the Kingdom.
makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, should have predicted that one.
So the second biggest announcement of this direct after the release date for the system, in my opinion, The thing I'm most excited about, I'll say, is the GameCube on Nintendo
Switch
Switch
Online.
Online, and the fact that it's not a new tier, nobody saw that coming. Not a single person was like, "Oh yeah, and they'll not charge us more money."
They
Like,
might.
what?
They could.
It
So
said it's
Eventually.
the same tier.
They could eventually,
this was
though.
the thing in the direct.
They might
I
raise
was
their rates,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
to me that's different. Like that would make sense, but like I don't know, everybody thought they were going to add a third tier for this and they did
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So, the 3 games that are going to be available right away. I've seen some I want to make sure we get this right because I've seen a few people have misinterpreted what they showed us. So there's going to be 3 games available right away. Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. What some
Yes.
people didn't seem to understand is the other games they showed, they're
Are
not
not
gonna
out.
be there right away, and it's important to remember that when they added I think it was when Game Boy Advance showed up on the service, one of the games they showed just like this was Metroid Fusion, which didn't come for, like, over a year.
Yeah.
So, these
So this
games
was.
could take forever to come, but sorry, Sean, I just wanna mention what they are, and then we can
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
them.
yeah.
So the games they showed as coming at some point were Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon Gale of Darkness XD, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Coliseum. I have Luigi's Mansion thoughts. What are your thoughts?
So this was the one thing in the direct that surprised me because I didn't think they would do this.
Mhm.
Like I didn't think they would add it like they did. So that was really cool. No, Soul Calibur 2 was the most exciting of the 3 to me,
Yeah.
just because I've played so much of it, and I was like, "Hey, all right," because
It's
that's
so
not
funny.
Yeah.
something.
As much of a Nintendo fanboy as I am, I have the PlayStation 2 version of that game. I don't remember who the unlockable character was for that version.
The guy from Tekken,
Then maybe I have the
or
Xbox version.
Xbox One has Spawn,
Maybe I have that version and I wanted
but you
Spawn. I
don't
don't know
have
why I
the
didn't go
one.
for Link, considering
I was
I'm
gonna
so
say,
obsessed
why
with
wouldn't
Zelda,
you
but
go with the Zelda one? But yeah, that
I
that
don't
was
know.
my big thing. Is just shocked that it happened, and like, ooh, I can play Soul Calibur again.
Yeah. It's gonna
And my only message to everyone: good luck getting the controller.
be.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem. Ever since they changed it to being you have to have a Switch
The
Online
membership.
membership, it really helped. That's the 5th punch to the wallet now is I am absolutely getting that GameCube controller. That's a day 1. As soon as they go on sale, I'm buying one. So, 5th punch to the
Okay.
wallet in this direct.
Man,
It's
oh
my
man.
favorite controller ever.
Well, I know, you're crazy, but
I,
yeah, no. So what are you guys thinking on the GameCube?
so Soul Calibur, I'm super excited about, and
All right, so I can play with
and
Eric.
and if they ever make a Time Splitters announcement, oh man,
Nice.
I will go crazy. Um, I gotta I
I'm really Oh, go ahead.
no, that's it because I have this is like the biggest heater I might have today. So, um,
Okay. I'm excited for Luigi's Mansion, the first one, because I've
Mhm.
talked so much about how it would be hard for them to re-release that game since it's such a short game and like people are gonna buy this $60 release and finish it in 11 hours and be like, "That's it? You gotta add extra modes and blah blah blah." So
Yeah.
just putting the original on there, if you're not what they should have done was paired it with 2 when they released 2. But if they're not gonna release a 1/2 collection, um,
This was the
this
best
is
option.
the best option, and it's gonna be the GameCube version, which I've heard people don't like the 3DS version because I guess they turn the
mhm,
brightness up and it doesn't have as dark a tone.
makes sense.
So that's gonna be really, really cool. I'll be able to play it with a GameCube controller. Really
Mhm.
excited. I think they're gonna drop like, it would make the most sense for them to drop that in September.
Yeah.
So let's see if that happens. If not this year, maybe next.
So I
I was a
gotta
little surprised Sunshine was on there, but I guess at this point it's
No,
been
'cause
long.
you know what I've always thought about that? They did everyone's saying that because it's in the 3D All-Stars collection, but Mario 64 is also on the service, so
No, no, I know, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's been long enough since that thing came out that it doesn't matter now.
I gotta
yeah.
talk about it. I
Okay.
gotta talk about this before we move on. Um, I'm the Animal Crossing guy, and
Yep.
I am so worried that Animal Crossing is about to get the Pokemon treatment. And because
We do.
we have to understand that Nintendo has a really great opportunity to do something extremely special with a combination of having an online service and a chance to have Animal Crossing on the online
Oh, I
service.
see what you're saying. Yep.
Because like
Um,
They won't. They
I don't
won't.
think it'll ever happen because
It would be great. I agree with
everyone
you,
will go
but
online and play with their friends and visit each other's towns.
yeah.
Me and you'll be doing it, but like it'll never come because it'll distract people so much. The same reason why we don't have Pokemon Generation 1 on NSO. So I just want to put that out there. They like Nintendo has so many opportunities to create experiences that would be extremely special
Unique.
and unique,
Yeah.
but we're not gonna get it. And like,
yeah, exactly. They're gonna be like, "Well, if you wanna visit your friend's town, you have to do that in the new Switch 2 Animal Crossing."
yeah, like I know we're not gonna get to the negative parts today, but there were some parts of this that just made my stomach kind of go, ugh, like it just
Yeah.
didn't make me feel so good.
Uh, Next week's podcast, everything we hated about the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
We're like
So
the one positive podcast right now.
yeah.
the follow-up to all that GameCube goodness was they wanted to talk about their development partner games that are gonna be coming.
Yep.
And this was the one where the games were just coming so fast
Oh,
that
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
barely keep up in the notes. I had to rewatch the trailer at a certain point and, like, pause it. But, the first one they did was, Deltarune. Not sure if I'm saying that right.
Deltarune?
Deltarune?
Deltarune.
Deltarune, sorry, Deltarune.
You made
Don't
up
know
a
that
new
game.
game.
Yeah. Borderlands
Sequel to
4
Undertale. Yep.
Borderlands 4,
2K?
Borderlands 2 is my favorite game to say in a British accent, but, Borderlands 4 is coming. Civilization 7
2K?
coming.
Again, why
And
didn't
then
you wait? But
another big news item. Yes, Harrison, I was gonna kick it over to
yep,
you for this
yep.
is
He was correct again.
the 2Ks.
Well, I'm
Yep.
saying I'm saying no. Borderlands 4 is 2K. So Civ 7 is 2K. WWE 2K. It's all the same company.
No, but you specifically had
Oh, I
said the
see what you mean.
sports games were gonna.
Right. So NBA 2K, they had NBA 2K 2018 through 2025 on the last system, and only thing I'll say is I'm happy that we got to see it for like we literally saw the 2K team for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, that's
Mm,
fine. Cool. Like if you're going to feature it, don't feature it for 5 minutes, feature it for a few seconds and then be
yeah,
like, okay, yeah, we're coming to the system. Next game. So yeah, that one's easy. I'm much more interested in a certain launch title. By the way, we're getting over 20 launch titles for Switch 2. How crazy is that? Um,
and this was
Oh,
another game that my note was just good job, Harrison.
what, are you talking about
Cyberpunk.
WWE? Okay, well, yeah, so we're getting too far ahead
oh
'cause
yeah, we're a little bit
Oh,
too
th
far ahead. Yeah, keep
yeah,
going, Kevin. Keep going.
so are we done with the NBA one right now?
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
had
yeah,
something to say about Survival
lots
Kids.
of
Okay.
2Ks. They have four
Oh,
2K games
Survival
coming.
Kids. Yeah,
So
that
Survival
looked
Kids
cool.
is where the presentation froze, which was
Oh,
aggravating for me.
Yeah.
Um, did that happen for you, Harrison?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So I had to go back and rewatch this part to make these notes. But also, I am wondering, and I haven't found anything online about this, so maybe I'm just wrong, but there was a Game Boy Color game called Survival Kids, and it looked like the same kind of art style. I don't know if this is a revival of that Game Boy Color series.
maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if it's at all related. It was a Konami game. Is this a Konami game? I don't know.
I don't believe so.
Oh, okay.
But
So, new Survival Kids reboot, The Real Ghostbusters.
the survivalist.
Yeah. Anyway, That's all I wanted to say. That's why I didn't want to skip it. Enter the Gungeon 2 came next. Star Seeker,
Yep.
Astroneer Expeditions told us nothing about that game other than that it's in space. Um, Cyberpunk 2077, like you said, and
Pause.
then Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which I'm not really sure. We heard the rumors, of course, that this was going to be on there. I'm not really sure why, because Rebirth is probably not going to be possible unless they make like a
Yes,
Switch 2 version.
I did
So,
see something about that, so I thought it was weird that they bothered because I don't think
yeah,
they can continue the series, but whatever.
maybe it was just easy for them to port it and get a little extra money out of that game while they can. Maybe that was just it.
Probably.
Yeah. And
All
real
right, and
quick, we're getting complete edition Cyberpunk day one
On the
on
cart.
and on the console. That is
oh,
that is a
update. Survival Kids is Konami.
that
Oh,
is
okay.
a
It says
There you go.
huge
Konami and Unity team up to reimagine a classic. Okay, so it is related to that Game Boy Color game. All right. Sorry, Harrison.
no
You a genius.
that's just a huge like if you can think back to like December 2020 when the game originally released and had like the worst
Yeah.
first party release of any game ever. Cyber
Yep.
This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I am just so excited that it's coming to Switch 2. I'm just so happy to see that it's come so far that it made it into this next console. Just an amazing story.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it.
All right. This was the rapidest of fires of a montage towards the end here. They were clearly like building momentum. They were like da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da. So we got Kinitsugami, Path of Goddess, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, um,
Woo.
Hey,
Story of
you're
Seasons.
welcome.
Yeah.
Anyone
Oh,
who
you
want
called that one too. You did.
no
Yep.
no
Yeah.
no
Another
I
pat
no
on the
I
back
left
for
it off.
Harrison.
We out of every bingo card we ever did, I always put Silk Song. I did not put it for this
Yep.
one. So anyone who wanted this game, it's me. I did it. It's
It is
my
you.
okay. Keep going, Kevin. I'm sorry.
Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. I already talked about my thoughts on Story of Seasons. Goodnight Universe, possibly the sequel to Goodnight Moon. I don't know. 2 Point Museum.
Yep.
Wild Heart S.
That
Which
intrigued me that it happened because that's that Monster Hunter by EA that didn't run well on Series S when I played it. So I'm like, yeah, maybe it runs well on Switch. So anyway,
Witchbrook. Uh,
sure.
Puyo
Yeah.
Puyo Tetris 2S. I'm not sure what the 2S is.
Two
Rune
screens.
Factory
Sorry.
Gart.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
I said two
All right.
screens, but I'm derailing things. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. Rune Factory
Uh,
is a huge franchise outside of the United
Out of
Oh
States.
here.
yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics Invasion. All right, I'll
Which
do it.
looks fun.
Add a sixth punch to the wallet. I'm caving in, but this is going to be a sale game. I'm not buying this one full price, but
That's the Shredder's Revenge crew. That's their
yeah.
new game. Oh,
So I changed my mind on that. I'll
It looks
get
nice.
that. Star Wars Outlaws.
that's the one Ubisoft.
Nobunaga's Ambition Awakening Complete Edition. This explains why those Nobunaga's Ambition games came to NSO.
Yep.
Yep.
Just because it explained it doesn't mean it should have happened, but all right. Fast Fusion,
Launch title.
Shadow Labyrinth.
The weird Pac-Man game. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dark Pac-Man. Shadow Pac-Man.
Ray Dew remastered The Mystery of the Soulless Army.
Mhm.
And
Sure.
then the weirdest title for a game in the entire presentation, we'll give that award to No Sleep for Konami Date from AI The Somnium Files.
That's like a cult series, but yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Re
Reanimal.
man. Reanimal, sorry. Fortnite, I can say that. Fortnite's got to be on everything. It was they didn't even have to put it in here. It's like we know
Nope.
Fortnite's coming. Like
Oh,
we
hey,
know.
that thing that your kids only play on the Switch, it's still here.
Like, obviously, they had to because it's so popular that it's just, like, brand recognition or whatever, but yeah.
It's just a flex, and we haven't mentioned it all this hour that we've recorded, but go back and look at the last debut Switch Direct and see how much third party there was and compare it to this one.
Peop
There is
Well, they were afraid of it. I've
there is
seen
so
videos. I
much
think
more.
Arlo did a video on YouTube about how when and Scott the Woz might have as well, about, like, after the Wii U, they basically all the third-party developers kinda lost faith in Nintendo and didn't wanna gamble on the Switch, so it took them
Yep.
to sell 13 million units in that first year to kinda get people back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the amount of third party flexing that we saw that we're about to get into after this, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Arcade Arcade Archives 2 Ridge Racer, Professor Layton and the New World of Steam, kinda surprised that one was buried
Yay.
in here.
Mhm.
Finally back.
Tamagotchi Plaza,
Yep.
Human Fall Flat 2 was
Yep.
the last of this montage.
Yeah, lots of
That's good stuff. That's when I play with my niece and nephew. So hooray!
yeah. Yes. Yeah. That that game, I wonder if it has over 1,000,000 on Switch because there's over
It
a
must.
hundred there's over 100 games that have 1,000,000 sales. I bet that's one of them. And then
Probably, yeah.
and then Kevin,
And
The
yeah,
then
biggie,
I'll let you
biggie.
say the
well, I was gonna say there's 3 big games left. One last, for the third-party developers or the partners or whatever they're
Yep,
calling
yep.
them,
That's the
and
important one.
that's the Duskbloods, which sounds like of to me, as someone who knows nothing about this, it sounds like Sean knows, but to me, the Duskbloods, as someone who knows nothing about this, seem like a show that should have been on in between the Munsters and the Addams Family. It's like those are the Duskbloods. They live down the
Yeah,
street.
it was the forgotten '60s sitcom that no one liked. No,
Yeah.
so Harrison and I probably both, but I was blown away
my God.
that Nintendo got a From Software exclusive on their
How
new console,
how did
which
Sony
means
mess this up
Sony
so
burned that
badly?
bridge so bad that Miyazaki was like, "All right, fine. I'll go make another Bloodborne. I'll call it something different, and I'm gonna launch it on Switch." So,
This
ha!
It's it's Nintendo redeeming themselves from Final Fantasy.
this is a $500 million mistake by Sony. This is huge.
Absolutely.
This is huge. This is by far
So,
the biggest surprise of the entire evening. I was
Man, I'm
yep,
out of
going
yep,
this loop.
I was going, "Are you kidding me?" From Software is Elden Ring. From Software is Dark Souls. I mean,
Mhm.
this is
so, yes, the
huge.
fact that Nintendo got this over the other 2, I couldn't believe it. It made me believe, 1, again, Sony messed up. 2, Dark Souls must have sold really, really well on Switch because that has to be some sort of factor.
Yeah.
And this would have been my day 1 purchase if this wasn't a 2026 title.
Yeah.
If they had said this is day 1, then I would have been like, "Alright, I'm selling blood then. I will figure out a way
This
to
is
get
my
this
this is my
game."
day one title, even though this isn't my type of game because it would just be just setting that precedent. I messaged multiple friends yesterday who don't stay in the loop, aren't like Nintendo people. Like they're kind of Nintendo people, but they're like Dark Souls, Elden Ring. I messaged them
Yeah.
about it. They're like, "Really? They made that announcement?" And all of them said, "Well, I'm getting a Switch
Just like,
2."
get this it's
Like
so I didn't watch
yeah.
the direct when it happened. So my brother-in-law was giving me, like, text updates while I was, like, working, and he goes, "Oh, it looks like they did, like, a Bloodborne game." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, there's, like, a From Software game," and I, like, stopped what I was doing to look at the trailer, so
Yeah. So
very,
and
very excited for it.
so the last thing I want to say, and this might be the biggest heater I have of today, is that we are officially one step closer to having From Software make a Zelda game. And if it ever were to happen, considering how much Elden Ring was successful and how much they were inspired from Zelda, that would be the
Yeah.
biggest full circle moment we see in modern gaming history.
For that to be the game where Miyazaki finally goes, "All right, I have made the definitive fantasy RPG now." It's just what? But no, I was really, really happy about that. So that was exciting, and yeah, I don't know if Elden Ring goes on sale, Kevin, grab it. It's totally worth it. But nope, that was my big surprise, and then the other big game later is I'm happy, but still isn't a day one purchase for me. So
Yeah, man, yeah,
So yeah, right
biggest
before
surprise.
that,
there
I'm
was one
sure we don't
before
have
it,
much
right?
to say about it, but there's a sequel to Kirby Air Ride, Kirby
Oh,
Air Riders,
that only
which
upset me.
why?
Where's my Dream Course 2? You
Oh,
kidding me? You
it's
do
never gonna
the
happen, man. It's
the
not.
cult GameCube game that no one played.
It.
It's a
I don't.
sequel.
I won't say never because I never thought I'd see Mario RPG remade either. But
No, no, I know, but
I
that's
don't
the
think it's
only
gonna happen.
trailer that actively angered me. So,
Yeah.
And
It looks
then the
nice.
last.
Oh, and I was about to say about Kirby Air Riders is that I can't. I knew Sakurai was famous. I didn't realize
yeah,
he was like developing this
that
game famous. Like he's like the like you usually like sees that for like Kojima or something like that. I didn't realize like
yep.
his name was like that level. But okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, the last thing in the presentation, Donkey Kong Bonanza, which they've released more footage since because there's been the hands-on experience
Ooh,
kind of starting and stuff. Uh it very much look I don't I saw Harrison say the same thing, but I thought it too like it must be the same people that made Mario Odyssey. It looks very, very, especially the level in Mario Odyssey where you're in the jungle and when you're in the cooking area. It looks a lot like that. But yeah, I'm on the fence about this one. I'm not as big into Donkey Kong as Sean, but the fact that it looks so Mario Odyssey-ish, kind of with Breath of the Wild in there too, because I saw him like climbing the side of the mountain and stuff. So
so I think if you've ever had any doubts about his redesign, this trailer will get you on board because
oh, that
I'm
was the
like,
other thing we predicted, called it. Because we were like, hey, what if the reason they redesigned him for Mario Kart is he has a new game coming out?
new game.
Called it.
Yep. No, I'll have to look up the new footage because I'm not 100% sure like if it's just a collectathon or what you're doing in it. Uh the first thing I noticed and got excited about was that he has pants. I don't know why that was so exciting to me. I guess because it goes with the tie. But
Hmm,
yeah, I'm gonna play it. Obviously, it's July, so it's not launch month, but after. It feels like it's a game they'll probably bundle. So if it takes me a bit to get the system, that would be a
that's a
bundle I
good
would
point.
definitely pick up.
Yeah.
But no, I was really, really happy to see it. And this was one Kevin told me about because I thought the direct was over. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And he goes, not even the Donkey Kong game. And I went, what? And I went, hold on. And then I saw the trailer and went, oh, the Donkey Kong game. It's like, oh yeah, it's from Software and Donkey Kong. Those are the two things I got out of this. But no, I see Cranky Kong and On Guard I saw. So at the animals might be making a comeback. So I'm really excited for it. Curious what it's going to be like. And it was a nice tag, I think, for the whole
Yeah.
presentation. The only thing that didn't come up at all that is my favorite new thing about the Switch 2 is I like that the logo is basically the new Joy-Cons headbutting each other. So
Mhm.
that's a nice little touch.
Which I mean, I know I keep saying it, but I think that was another thing we predicted because I remember they showed that logo with the Joy-Con off to the side, but it wasn't animated when they
Yeah,
revealed it. And you remember I said on one of the podcasts, I said, I bet instead of clicking in, the new logo is just it
they
slamming
slamming.
in, and it was.
So, so no, I mean, yeah, next week we'll do the bad and we'll do the spotlight games. But I left it pretty feeling pretty good, just also feeling pretty poor. So it's going to be a wait. as far
Yeah,
as
me
getting the
too.
system,
Yeah,
but
me too. And
Well, I'm selling all my comic books. That's basically what this direct
okay,
did to me, because
okay.
I was converting from single issue to collected edition anyway. So,
Yep,
yeah, I'm gonna sell those. I got 7 punches to the wallet. I'll close with that, and then Harrison can give his thoughts. Uh, my punches to the wallet are obviously so 8 if you include the system,
yep,
Metroid Prime 4,
yep.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, Kirby Forgotten Land, Pokemon Legends ZA, GameCube controller, Pro controller, and now Marvel Comics Invasion. That's 8 punches to the wallet there. Uh, that's
Let's get
every game
Kirby now,
purchase I can make
man.
for the year.
Just get Kirby now.
I get a
I'm
birthday
telling
and
you.
Christmas in there. It'll happen.
yeah,
Somebody get him Kirby.
yeah.
I want the extra stuff.
No, no, just don't give in. Just get the Kirby now. Harrison, what are your final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, yeah, I mean, this has been great. I mean, it's 7:45 in the morning where I am, and I'm feeling awake. I'm feeling pumped up, honestly. So,
Well, that's good.
next week we can talk about it more because yes, I mean, this has been a great. Uh, I'm feeling good about everything, but honestly, like overall, I think I have more worry than I do positivity about
Mhm.
this, which we'll touch on next week. The Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch
it's
2
I did sorry, you didn't interrupt me. I won't interrupt you.
will have you're okay, but it'll have at least 20 launch titles, um,
Yeah,
which yeah, I won't read through them, but I would say like Cyberpunk 2077, Hogwarts Legacy, Mario Kart World, perhaps Welcome Tour, Split Fiction, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Yakuza 0. Like there's a ton of day ones that I am interested in. So I think I'd put most of the things I'm interested in the probably buy. I don't know how many must buys there are. Yeah, it's gonna get expensive really quickly, which is what we can talk
yeah.
about next week. Yeah, Kevin, go ahead. Don't. It's okay.
Oh,
It's been a long episode, and we've all talked. I've talked over you too, so you know.
I was just gonna say you mentioned you mentioned their uh now I forgot what I was gonna say. um dang, I lost it. It was
I've
something about
been
something
positive.
and then something involved.
I've
It's lost.
been keeping positive and everything.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, it was a weird sign to me that the thing I'm most excited about from the presentation is being able to play GameCube games with a GameCube controller when I own a GameCube and like 4 controllers. So I don't know why
No,
I'm most excited about that, but I am. The
I never
upscaling
thought
will be nice.
I never thought a Nintendo Direct would end with me going Souls games and monkeys. Yes.
Breath
I wonder if
Breath
that
of the
because
Wild
they
and
said that the
Cyberpunk.
GameCube games were gonna have enhanced visuals. I wonder if that's that AI upscaling technology they recently got a patent on.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it is a lot of saying that that's a good point, Kevin. I mean, a lot of the 20 launch titles that I've mentioned are games that I already own. Yeah, Yakuza,
Yeah.
Cyberpunk, Breath of the Wild, but
Oh, yeah, let me look at my punches, see what's
it's
of the punches I listed, Metroid Prime 4 is a Switch game, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming to Switch, Kirby Forgotten Land is Switch, Pokemon Legends ZA is Switch, um, GameCube
So
controllers new slash a re-release, Pro controller. So the things that I'm getting that are Switch 2 specific are just the Pro controller and Marvel Comics Invasion, which will
yeah,
probably also be available on Switch.
it
yes.
is.
It
Yeah,
is. Okay, so just the Pro controller.
The
The Pro
controller and
controller.
Mario Kart. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you're
that's the
getting.
only thing
so
that's like
it's all
only
you
on the
need.
Switch 2.
It's all you need. It is good that things will be compatible and it will be a big install base with backwards compatibility that if someone does just want to buy the system day one and they're already a Switch owner, um, then that it's going to be possible. But yeah, we'll talk more about prices next week because I'm worried
It
that
makes us sad.
I'm just really worried about it. That I'll just keep it at that.
Mhm.
Well, fellas, it's been good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been long.
I can't wait. I'm very excited, but also nervous about the future of Nintendo here. Uh, Obviously, I don't think they're going to repeat. That's one thing I'll say about this presentation is I don't think they're going to repeat the crazy success they had with the Switch. I could be wrong, but this doesn't seem like it's going to sell 150 million units, but we'll see.
No.
Uh, but they're not going anywhere either. They don't seem like they're in
Nope.
danger of having a Sega Dreamcast on their hands either. Nah, not that that's what will put them out of
And
business. I'm
PlayStation
rambling.
and PlayStation keeps finding PlayStation 2s, which is really funny. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you sold 106 did we say 160,000,000? We meant 162,000,000
yeah,
PlayStation
it's
2s."
yeah,
Bottom of the
yeah.
sea.
Okay, so thank you all for listening. Let us know down below on YouTube in the comments what you liked the most about the Switch 2 presentation, what you're most excited about, and also let us know what you're most not excited about. What did you think was missing? What are you like, hey, why didn't you put the 3D Mario on there? And just keep in mind, we're Nintendo fans, not experts, so we probably got a bunch of stuff wrong. Don't yell at us for that. And we'll see you next time on the Nintendo Therapy Podcast Bonanza.